Hi, welcome to class.
Hello, hello. Thank you very much.
How do I pronounce your name correctly?
Gela.
Gela. Okay.
Yep. Yes.
Welcome. Where are you from, Gela?
I'm from Georgia. I live in Tbilisi, in the capital.
Georgia. Okay. How do you pronounce the capital?
Tbilisi.
Tbilisi. Okay. It's difficult for us Americans with the TB
Yes.
combination. Okay. Um, Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do for work, or are you a student?
I work at a British company, oil transaction company,
Hmm.
and that's the reason I'm trying to improve my English.
Makes sense. Does your company do business with other companies that speak English, or is it just more of an international language thing?
It's British company. A lot, big part of the staff is from English or US.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. Well, welcome to class. Hello,
Thank you very much.
Artur.
Hello,
How are
Jeremy.
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Where are you from?
I'm from Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. Have we had class together before?
Well, I think no.
Okay.
This is the first time.
Maybe it was a different Artur. Uh, not on Verbling, but on a previous company. I thought maybe we had class together. Maybe not.
Uh, yeah.
Uzbekistan. Well, we have students from all over the world. This is nice. What do you do for work, or do you go to school?
No, I'm working. Um, I'm doing software engineering.
Okay. And why are you trying to improve your English?
Well, because I'm working with an international team,
Mm,
so
okay.
they mainly speak in English.
Makes sense. Give me an example. What type of engineering did you say?
Software.
Software engineering. Oh, okay. Software engineering. So what kind of programs do you guys write?
Um, the last project is about project management solution.
Okay. Good. Well, we have a few other software engineers on Verbling. Yesterday, I had someone else. Where was he from? I forget. Welcome to class, and Joseph. Hello, Joseph.
Hi Jeremy, how are you?
Good. I like your avatar there. It looks like a leaf insect.
Yes, there is a leaf insect. I like,
Okay. Camouflage.
yes, a good camouflage for this insect.
Yeah, master of disguise. So where are you from?
I'm from Peru.
Peru. Okay. Bienvenido. What field do you work in?
No, I'm not working now. I'm using this time to learn English.
Okay. Very good. Are you still in the university or are you still in school?
No, I graduated from college 2 years ago.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about why you would like to learn or improve your English.
I want to take an exam, an English exam.
Ah, okay.
That's why I'm improving my English.
What is it like in Peru? Do a lot of people speak English? Just a very few? How is it?
I think that now most of the companies needs that you will be able to speak fluently in English
Hmm.
because nowadays everything is in English. If you want to learn something new, you have a bunch of information in English, and if you want to uh, get the better information, I think that it's good to know English.
Okay. Yeah, I guess a lot of the research on the internet is in English. Not all of it, but a large portion of it, huh? What I didn't ask you, what city are you from, Joseph?
I'm from Lima.
Everybody I talk to from Peru is from Lima. I went to Peru in 2009. We went to Lima, and then we went to Cuzco, and of course Machu Picchu, the tourist trap, right?
Yes, yes, that's a beautiful city. I only went there once when I was in high school.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to go back. It was beautiful. Well, welcome. Hello, Edson. Welcome to our class.
Hello, teacher. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone.
Nice to meet you. Edson, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Mexico. ¿Qué parte?
I live in Mexico City, in
Oh,
el
okay.
DF.
Capitalistas.
Yeah, in Capitalinos.
Capitalino. Sorry.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the difference between capitalino and chilango?
Well, I think people from here, from the city, we don't care. That's the way people from other states call us, chilangos. If you are from the city, you
Okay.
are immediately you're a chilango. It's kind of it's not despective. It's just like a funny way to say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I have Mexican friends, and they argue about the meaning of chilango versus capitalino. It was funny. They were debating which was the correct term, and it was kind of funny.
Some people say that the term chilango is for people that comes from other state and
Yeah, that's
located in the city, but I'm not sure. It's just what people say.
okay. That's what one of my friends said, and the other one said no, and so it was kind of funny. They're both from Mexico, so I let them argue about it.
Yeah, it's hot topic here.
All right. Well, let's change the subject, guys. Let's talk about phobias. So, is everybody using Verbling chat?
Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Just make sure you have that open because I like to type words and then type phrases in the Verbling chat. So, here's the word phobia, right? When I say phobia, Artur, what do you think of?
Different types of fears.
Okay.
Um, Claustrophobia,
Okay. What does that mean?
when you are afraid of closed space,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
small space.
All right. Good. So phobia is a fear. But is there a slight difference between just the regular word fear, to be afraid, and a phobia? What do you guys think? Is there a slight difference in meaning?
May I say?
Go ahead. You guys can take turns.
Okay, please, if someone has an idea. As I know, it's extreme fear or something.
Okay.
Some event or something.
Yeah. Good. You hit the. I'll use an English idiom. We say in English, you hit the nail on the head. Have you heard that before?
I've heard nailed it. You nailed it.
Okay, you nailed it. Yeah. I like to introduce English idioms during class, and whenever they seem natural. So I will put both of those. You nailed it, or you on the head, and I'll type them so you guys can see them in print. And the head of the nail is the top part, right? The flat
Yeah.
part. That's the head.
Yeah.
So when you hit right on the main point, we say, you nailed it, or you hit the nail on the head. So the word extreme is what everybody's afraid of something, right? We all have fears. Some fears are normal. For instance, if you're standing on the edge of a cliff and it's only this big and it's 100 feet high, it's normal to be afraid. But a phobia, what's the difference between a normal fear and a phobia?
phobia means that there is no some significant reason for fear, but you're scared
Good. Yeah.
without no reason.
So one dictionary uses this particular definition, and you already used, Gela, you already mentioned the word extreme. The other word they use is exaggerated. In other words, it's not natural to be that afraid of being in a closed space, or someone who is afraid of spiders to the point that they freak out just when they see a spider. So there's different phobias. Which phobias? Well, do you guys have any phobias that you want to share? You don't have to. Hi, Selma. I didn't say hello. Welcome to our class.
No, that's fine, teacher. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Where are you from?
I'm from Algeria.
Algeria?
Uh-huh.
Your team played very well yesterday.
Yes, I know, teacher.
It was a good match.
Yes, it was great team.
Yeah. All right. So tell me this: if you don't want to, if none of you guys have any phobias, tell me other phobias that you have heard of. We already have claustrophobia. I will type that one for you. Claustrophobia. Fear of enclosed spaces. Somebody else, give me another phobia.
I've heard about arachnophobia, fear of spiders.
Okay, good. I have to check my spelling. Arachnophobia. Well, I don't remember. Arachnophobia? Arachnophobia. Yeah, N-O-P-H. Okay, that's what I thought. Fear of spiders. They made a movie out of that a long time ago. Has anyone seen it?
Nope.
No, it's an old
No.
movie. It's kind of silly. Can you think of another phobia?
Well, I don't know how it's called, but people that are afraid of death.
Okay. Yeah, an unusual fear of death. Yeah, I don't know if there's a name for that, but I've heard of that. How about this one? Anybody know what agora means in Greek? It means open. The opposite of claustrophobia. Someone who is afraid of being in an open space, out by himself in a big open area. Kind of a strange phobia, right? Let's talk about the title of our class today, or the one I chose. Fear of clowns. Did you know there was such a thing as fear of clowns?
Yes. After
Yes?
some movies.
Okay, let's talk about that. What do some scary movies or horror movies? How do they use clowns in their movies sometimes?
It.
Okay, explain.
Well, I see it a long time ago, but it's about a clown that it's at the beginning it's kind with children and offers them toys or something,
Okay.
and then when they go and the clown kidnaps them and then I don't remember and it starts being bad with them. But I
Okay.
cannot remember everything. But I think that's the most famous evil clown of all time.
Okay. Yeah, I think that wasn't that a who was the writer? Stephen King. I think that was one of his books. I think. Not sure about
Yeah.
that. Have you seen any other movies where the clowns are represented as evil, or have you heard of the idea of an evil clown?
In Batman, for instance, the Joker face.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's similar idea. Taking the humor and taking something funny and making it into something scary. Well, let me share with you guys an article here. I think the best way to do this, I'm gonna put this in Google Docs because even though I have a web article, I want to give you the PDF version because I've already highlighted certain words. So let me do the. Are you guys familiar with using Google Docs through the Hangout? Google Drive?
I
Uh-huh.
cannot use it. Could you please paste the link in the Verbling
Okay.
chat box?
I'll
So
do
I can
both.
open it.
I'll do
Yeah.
both, okay?
Thank
Let
you,
me,
teacher.
for those that can use the Google Drive, I'm going to go ahead and upload the article. Just give me a second here to put it in. Let's see. 1 second. I have to drag it in. There we go. So now it's okay. Give access. If any of you get denied, just tell me and I'll give access again. Sometimes it makes me grant access multiple times. But you should be able to grab it now if you reload the Google Drive. I went ahead and I put it in there. For those of you who can't use Google Drive, give me a second and I will grab the article here. I need to just paste the link. And here. Who is it that Edson, you can't use the Google Drive?
Yes, I can't use it. If you
Okay.
give me the link, I can see it and even edit it.
Okay, let me get this down here. There you go. There's the link for those of you who don't want to use the Google Drive. The
Thank
reason
you.
the reason I pasted the story as in the Google Drive, even though it is a web page, is I took the time to highlight certain words because we're going to we're going to make a grammar point in addition to this discussion. We will highlight a few things. All right. Does anyone need more time, or does everybody have the article open either as a web page or as a PDF? Everybody ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and start reading this then. I'll have you guys take turns reading just for reading practice, and if I hear any words that you need correction, I'll help you out. So let's start with we'll just alternate, take turns. How about we go from left to right? Artur, since you're on the left side of my screen down below, can you start the article?
Sure. Warning. The following story may be upsetting to some people. That's because it's about clowns. Yes, clowns. Painted white faces, red lips, receding hairlines with tufts of wild hair and of course the red false nose. Fun for all ages, yet plenty of people are downright scared of them. There's even a word for it. Coulrophobia. Though that's not an official diagnosis.
Okay, thank you. By the way, the one word you did very well. One word, tufts. It's a short U. Tufts of wild hair. Tufts refers to clumps, like when you have pieces of hair sticking out, like a clown. That's tufts. Okay, Edson, next paragraph.
Okay, teacher, just a question. Do you skip the second T sound in that word?
No, you actually say it, but you say it quickly. It's tufts.
Tufts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Theories about why clowns are frightening have been offered over the years. Writer Linda Rodriguez McRobbie explores them at length in this month's Smithsonian Magazine, in an article called "The History and Psychology of Clowns Being Scary."
Okay, thank you. Frightening, long I.
Frightening.
Okay. Gela, por favor, next, please.
Macrobi tells NPR's Audio Cornish that she's not afraid of clowns. Not exactly. The bigger thing, though, is that I just don't find them funny. And she points out it's important to remember that clowns were considered adult entertainment when they first appeared.
Okay, thank you. And Ivan, would you like to take the next subheading and paragraph? Is it Ivan or Ivan? I'm sorry.
Ivan.
Ivan, okay.
Let me see. I couldn't update the Google Drive.
I also pasted the link in the Verbling chat.
Yes, but I cannot see the Berlin chat. It's all blank. So could you pass? I will take my next step. My
Okay.
next.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm also gonna post it into the regular Google chat just for the fun of it. Okay. So you can grab it from there. You might try closing the Verbling app and reopening it. Sometimes it helps, like, to click out of it and come back.
Okay.
Sometimes that works. If you like go somewhere else, like go to the Google chat and then come back to the Verbling chat, and sometimes it reloads. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I'm on the page now. So, what did you say?
Interview highlights.
Interview highlights. On the road to modern scary clowns. At the end of the 18th and the beginning of the 19th century, there were really two guys who sort of began the modern clowning movement. In London, you had Joseph Grimaldi, who was a clown from the theatrical tradition, the pantomime tradition, and on the continent the sort of leading clown, starting from around the 1830s, was a guy called Jean Gaspard Deburau, who was the Poirot clown, a silent figure, but very funny.
Okay. Pantomime. Pantomime is the clown who does that, but he doesn't talk, right? Pantomime.
Pantomime.
Okay. Thank you. And let's see, Joseph, the next paragraph. The paragraph with Grimaldi.
Okay. Grimaldi had a terrible life outside of the theater. His father was an alcoholic and a tyrant, and his wife died in childbirth. His son died an alcoholic at 31. He himself died penniless and alcoholic. Pierrot, on the other hand, was slightly scared. In 1836, he actually killed a boy who insulted him in the street. He turned around and knocked the kid on the head with his walking stick. He was ultimately acquitted on the murder, but it's a little bit frightening.
Okay, good. Frightening. Tyrant in the first line. The word is tyrant. And we'll come back and we'll define some of these words later. I'm making notes of them. But I'm just giving the pronunciation for now. Tyrant. And in the last sentence, it was he was ultimately acquitted. Okay? Make a note of it, and we'll talk about the meaning of these words afterwards for anyone who needs help. Go ahead and read the next little paragraph. Go ahead, Joseph.
So these two characters became almost emblematic of the idea that there's something sinister, something scary, something strange going on underneath all of the makeup.
Okay, sinister. Yeah, sinister. All right, so the next subheading is on the friendly TV clowns of the 1950s, like Bozo and Clarabelle. Selma, please.
At this point, clowns are now solely children's entertainment, and that, I think, to some degree, makes them even more suspicious. So you have this period where children are being entertained by clowns. Clowns are very popular, they are on television. Yet, at the same time, this sort of banality covers up the sort of hard edges that clowns had before, that we could live with and we could understand. And now they've become this blankly uh, innocuous thing, and that makes us really suspicious.
Okay, good. Thank you. The next subheading on the most notorious real-life scary clown serial killer, John Wayne Gacy. Arthur?
He was convicted of 33 counts of murder, and he was also a clown, and he would entertain at children's parties, at hospitals, and places like that. And he once told the investigating officers, you know, a clown can't get away with anything. That, I think, really crystallized exactly what was the sort of lurking fear that people had, that, you know, someone that works with children in particular, who is this symbol of hilarity, symbol of fun and silliness and innocence. And underneath it can be something truly terrifying. It was almost open season on clowns after that.
Okay, thank you. On the roots of clown fear, Edson?
Okay. I think there is something fundamentally disturbing to people about someone who covers their face with makeup. The other thing that you hear is that clowns are able to engage in activity that is usually not socially sanctioned, and they don't suffer any consequences for having done it. It's certainly understandable, although I think at the end of the day a lot of fear of clowns actually comes back to the person underneath the makeup, and I think that's something that I saw quite a lot in every point in history, where there was someone who was tragic under their makeup, sinister under their makeup, sadistic under their makeup, and murderous under their makeup, that if the person under the makeup is themselves scary, then the clown's going to be scary.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let's talk about this article first, and then, well, let's start with the vocabulary, actually. Let me go back towards the beginning. We have the word, let's see. So tufts, I already mentioned tufts of wild hair means clumps. So if you're, instead of having one smooth head of hair, clowns usually have crazy hair, right? So a tuft is something sticking out. You can also have a tuft of fur, like an animal might be losing its fur, and so you might pull out a whole clump or a tuft of hair. Let's see, another word. In the paragraph discussing Mr. Grimaldi, it says his father was an alcoholic and a tyrant. Does anyone know what a tyrant is?
Yeah.
Who is that, Ivan? I'm sorry, I didn't catch who was talking.
Actually, two persons.
Okay, whoever wants to go.
Well, Tyrann. I don't know how to explain.
Or give me an example. If you have one for me, it's okay.
Well, he controls everything.
Mhm.
Without his permission, you can't do anything. He just
Good.
mm,
Yeah, a tyrant is someone who controls, who abuses his authority,
yes.
someone who rules with an iron fist, someone who's very hard on people under his control. In this case, it was the dad controlling his son like a tyrant, like a king who's very, very hard on his people. That's a tyrant. Okay. Um, all right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit. So, according to this article, um, originally clowns were the entertainment of whom?
Adults.
Adults. Yeah. And um, going back to the 1800s, these two individuals, what were they like? These guys that were some of the these two individuals who were the most famous clowns. Who would like to tell me a little bit about Joseph Grimaldi? What was his life like?
So
Well, he had. Go ahead.
go ahead, go
Tell.
ahead.
Okay. Well, he had a really disturbing life
Mm-hmm.
because his father was an alcoholic, and I guess his son died on alcohol, and what else? And he killed a boy because the boy insulted him in the street with a cane, I think, and he was judged, well, acquitted of the murder.
Okay, thank you, Edson. Who killed the boy? Are we talking about the same man?
Yeah, really, I think so. No, Pierrot, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's another clown.
Yeah, there's two people that we're discussing at the same time, simultaneously is the word. If you want to, there's a big word for you, right? Since we're
Okay.
we're going to talk about adverbs in this class a little bit. I'll give you guys when something happens at the same time. Like if there are two football games happening at the same time, you can say they are playing simultaneously. It means
Okay.
I'll spell it for you. Happening at the same time. That's how you spell it. Okay. So who was worse, Grimaldi or Perrault?
I think
From-
you
from-
wrote.
Okay.
From this article, it says that second one was slightly scarier. So maybe second one was worse.
Okay. And according to the article, why do they believe he was scarier? Why was he worse?
Because he killed the little boy
Mm-hmm.
in the street.
Good. Why did he kill him? Let me ask Joseph. Joseph, why did this man Perrault kill this boy?
Because the boy insulted him.
Uh-huh. What does the word insult mean?
He said bad words to him.
Uh-huh. Okay, good. Thank you. Selma, in the last sentence of that paragraph, it says Perrault was ultimately acquitted of the murder. But it's a little bit frightening. What does that mean? He was ultimately acquitted of the murder.
He eventually admitted that he committed that murder?
No. You got the eventually part right. That's very good. I want to come back to the word ultimately. You gave me a nice substitute for ultimately means eventually. It means it took some time, but eventually something happened. Maybe we can get some help. What does it mean that he was acquitted of the murder? Anyone know?
Yeah, he was found guilty of the murder.
Actually, it's the opposite, Edson. He was found not guilty.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just learned that word, or I think I learned.
Yeah, if you watch American TV programs on Law and Order, those kind of things, they like to use the word. You have two choices when you're a jury, right?
Okay, acquitted is not being guilty.
The jury usually has two options.
Accused.
Or to convict is to be found guilty, so convicted or acquitted.
Okay.
Yeah. Accused is what happens when you first are brought up for trial, right? You are being accused, but the decision isn't made yet. You're on trial for your life, maybe.
You're a subject.
So
a suspect.
Suspect. Very good. Yeah, suspect. It's another good word. In fact, because of the word convicted, we have a slang word that comes from that. Someone in America who has been convicted of a crime and has gone to jail, maybe he serves his time in jail, and then he gets out after 10 years or 8 years or whatever it is. Once he gets out, they call him an ex-convict, or for short, an ex-con. So you'll hear Americans use that slang like, "Oh, that guy, he can't get a job because he's an ex-con and nobody wants to hire him." Anyway, in case you hear that word one day.
It's really common.
Yeah. So acquitted, huh? All right. How does knowing the history of Grimaldi and Perrault help us to understand why clowns might be scary? What do you guys think?
Well, Grimaldi was doing I think a great show, but out of the theater he was having a bad time. So people start thinking that he was just, well, of course he was acting, but they believed that something was happening. I don't know, that they were someone else underneath the makeup.
Good observation.
Yeah, and with the other, well, even when they was acquitted, well, the fact that he was on trial, that's what makes people be afraid.
Yeah.
Or to believe that maybe they can do something bad.
Yeah.
They are not just fun.
Just because you're acquitted of murder doesn't mean that you didn't kill him, but maybe he wasn't found guilty of doing it on purpose. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? So yeah, people began to look at these clowns with suspicion. They had bad lives and unusual things happening. So now we fast forward in time. What big change took place between the 1800s and the 1950s? By the time we get to America, the United States, how were clowns being used in the 1950s? What do you think, Ivan?
I think for fun. And the fairy, fair. I think because children were told by their parents about fairy tales involving, um, I mean, people that entertain kings or something like that.
Okay. All right. So now in the 1950s, clowns are the entertainment of whom?
Children.
Children, yeah. It's a big change, huh? Um, let's talk a little bit about John Wayne Gacy. Who can tell me a little bit about Mr. John Wayne Gacy? Who was he?
He was a serial killer,
Mm-hmm.
and
What?
in the same time,
Go ahead, please.
he has a hidden personality. I mean, he was a clown, but at the same time, he had that hidden mysterious personality. And after a period of time, they found that he was convicted of a lot of murders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And specifically, he was a clown that used to entertain where? Which makes it even scarier.
Hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
places where there is a lot of desperate people.
Okay. Yeah. If you do research on John Wayne Gacy, he used to kidnap boys, and I won't go into details, but he would do some bad things and then he would murder them. So he was, and once this came out, this happened some years ago. Once it came out about who this man really was, I think it made Americans even more scared of clowns deep down inside. What comment did he make that shows you how bold he was and how unafraid he was of getting caught?
So he said the clown can get away with anything.
Why do you think he said that? What does he mean?
Well, I think that's because people think that clowns are friendly, with smile on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
That's why no one will suspect them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And in a way, he's because he's wearing his hair and he's painting his face. In a way, he's wearing his disguise, right? So he's hiding who he was. Interesting article, huh? Do you think this article maybe helps to explain why some people are afraid of clowns?
I don't know. I really don't like clowns, but it's not because I was thinking that they were murdered. But they
Okay.
were because I don't like clowns. I prefer the people who doesn't wear makeup,
Okay.
uh, like Cantinflas, you know.
Cantinflas, yeah?
I like that man. That man makes me fun.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe the last paragraph makes sense to you? The last paragraph of the article about people who hide behind makeup? I don't
I
know.
don't. Even if the people don't use don't wear makeup, you you don't know if they are good or bad.
True.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything
Okay.
uh, about the behavior of the people.
So why don't you like clowns then?
So I don't like clowns, and they don't make me fun. What they do when I was a child, I remember I attended to a circus.
Uh-huh.
In that circus, there was a lot of clowns, but they did things or they did stupid things that don't make me fun.
Okay. So you don't like clowns because you don't think that their act is funny in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at some grammar. Anybody else have a comment before I move on? We're gonna discuss the grammar in this article. Okay, good. Let's talk about adverbs. So for those of you who opened up the document from Google Drive, I have highlighted some words in yellow. Those are not all of the adverbs in the article, but that's a decent quantity of them. First of all, what is an adverb? Does anyone have an idea, or you want to give me an example of an adverb?
Yeah, it's something that specifies the verb, right? Like says the quantity or
Okay,
things like that.
that's an example. Yeah. So by definition, an adverb is the part of speech. I'll give you one definition: a part of speech that modifies. And what a lot of people. You can't hear me?
Yes, no.
Okay.
Now yes, but voice was cut out.
Oh. Maybe because I was typing. There might be an automatic mute. Sorry. I will. While I'm typing, I probably can't talk. I think Google has a certain protection against the typing sound. So, a basic sentence then. Let me give you. So, can someone give me an example of an adverb that we can put on the end of this sentence to modify it?
Fast, carefully.
Okay. Yeah. John drives his car fast. Or we can say quickly. Same thing. What do we know about many adverbs? Not all of them, but many adverbs end in what two letters?
ly.
Yeah. But don't be fooled, there are some adverbs that don't end in ly. Right? When someone says if someone is a good swimmer, right? So we say Susan Anybody want to fill in the blank there? Okay, you could say fast. What if I want to take the word good? Now, good is an adjective, right? Someone says Susan is a good swimmer. The corresponding adverb for good. If someone says,
Well,
how are you? Yeah, go ahead.
She swims very well.
Yeah, she swims very well. That's actually the corresponding. So if someone says, how are you doing today? I'm doing well. It should be I'm doing well, but a lot of people say I'm doing good. It's more, it's common, but it's not 100% correct. Okay, so well is an adverb. There's all sorts of adverbs that don't end in ly. What about the word very? Is very an adverb?
Yes.
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 Okay. What is the function of the word very? What does the word very do in a sentence? What type of adverb is it?
of quantity?
Not necessarily. For instance, she swims very well. We're not counting, are we?
Modify the adjective.
Okay. It can modify an adjective or it can modify another adverb, right? For instance, let me give you an example. Let's go back to the guy who drives his car. Let's say he's got a, give me a sports car. What's your favorite sports car?
Ferrari.
All right, Ferrari. John has a red Ferrari, huh?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to say so fast is the adverb, right? But we can modify the sentence further. I'll let you guys give me some examples. There's a few different things we can put in there. Can you give me a word that can go before the word fast?
Very fast, too fast.
Ah, very fast. Too fast. Anything else?
Extremely fast.
Extremely fast.
Could be dangerously.
Dangerously fast. Yeah.
Scary fast.
Scary fast? Yeah, you could. That's kind of more of a slang one. Dangerously, extremely. Let's take the ones that you guys have already given me so far. I'll put the more basic ones here. Let's talk about these words. So, very. What does the word very do in that sentence? So we have John drives his red Ferrari fast or very fast. What is the difference in those two sentences? What do you think, Joseph?
What's the difference between the very and too?
What's the difference between fast and very fast?
That it is much faster.
Ah, so the word very is an increaser. The word very intensifies whatever it's describing.
Okay.
So in this case, very intensifies another adverb. The base adverb is fast, but then we add very to increase it even higher. Very can also modify an adjective, right? We can say John has a red Ferrari, or he has a very red Ferrari.
And, Jeremy, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I hear that some people say, for example, the article wasn't that good. That intensified the good. What is that in that sentence?
It's not really an intensifier there. How would I explain that? It was that good. Yeah, I guess it's being used. It's being used as an intensifier or as something to measure by. It was that good.
It wasn't that good.
Right.
I hear many times.
Yeah. You've got the right idea. Basically, normally that is not being used as an adverb though, but it's more of a. Yeah, I guess it is an adverb in that context. Yes, it's basically to the degree stated, right? If someone says, "Oh, he is the best. He is the best. I don't know. He's the best writer ever," and you say, "Well, his article wasn't that good." So someone made the standard here, and you say, "Well, he's not that good. He's only this good." So if you use that or this before an adjective, then yes, it becomes an adverb of measurement. It's not necessarily an intensifier, it's to the stated degree or to the level indicated. Usually you're responding to a statement, right? Somebody says, he's the best ever. Well, he's not that good.
Teacher, in our example, very and fast, both of them are adverbs?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I typed drives wrong. Sorry, I put drivers. if you still have the article open from the clowns, take a look at some of the adverbs used here. There's quite a good variety of adverbs. In the very beginning of the article, the first main paragraph, it says that fun for all ages, yet plenty of people are downright scared of them. What do you think the word downright means in this sentence?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of it's an intensifier, right? Says when you go to the bottom line, people are afraid. Then we have words like very and really. Those are simple words. I call those simple adverbs because all they do is increase, right?
What happened with sort of?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was going to ask you guys, what do you think? What does sort of do in that sentence? So he's referring to the paragraph under the subheading on the roots of modern scary clowns, second line. There are really two guys who sort of began the modern clowning. Here's what I suggest. If you have a question of an adverb, take it out of the sentence and read the sentence to yourself, and then put it back. Anybody have a guess what sort of means?
Kind of.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of or sort of, if someone says, okay, if I ask you, hey, are you hungry? And you say, I'm kind of hungry. What does that mean?
That I'm hungry, but I'm not craving. I'm not starving.
Ah, good. So, sort of, is it an intensifier or is it a reducer?
It's a reducer.
Yeah. Sort of is the opposite of very, the opposite of really. So it takes away. So the writer of this article is saying these guys did not intend to start a clowning movement. They were just clowns. So they sort of began the clowning movement. It wasn't a conscious decision for them to go out and say, we're going to start a new thing. They sort of started it.
Sarah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is reducer the same as hedges?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
A reducer is it the same as hedges?
Hedges?
Uh,
You mean like
because I thought that kind of and sort of they are hedges. They are more than reducers.
hedges? I'm not familiar with that term, but if you're using hedges the way I think you mean, yeah, like to go halfway, to hedge your bet, or to not commit. You can use hedge that way. Okay, so, well, listen, I have to do the next class. Sorry, I lost track of time here. I have 1 minute to get the next class started. So hopefully you enjoyed the article. If you want to read it again for practice, you'll see there's a lot of adverbs in there.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice hanging out with you
Goodbye.
guys. Maybe
Goodbye.
we'll see you in the next class, maybe. Bye-bye.